What is up, guys? You got NotTheWorst here, bringing another Black Desert online video, and today we're taking a look at the patch notes for January 3rd. We've got just a couple of events going on, a few class tweaks, mostly just Scholar for meaningful ones, but first let's go ahead and take a look at those events and see what's going up. First up, we've got a Pouch of Fortune in the Dark Rift. So when you kill Dark Rift bosses, you can get these someone's Pouch of Fortune, little RNG bonuses that can get you mythical feathers, and the drop rate on these is pretty good, at least from what I've seen so far. I had 3 Rift bosses logged in. I got 3 pouches from them and like 5 mythical feathers total, something along those lines. Yeah, they're pretty up there. Gold bars across the board and memory fragments, and then a little Laura's New Year money to hook you up as well. We've got a Blessing from Commacilv event. So while you're grinding, you can actually have a little tree of Commacilv show up. You talk to it to receive Blessing of Commacilv buff. It's for 2 hours. If you already have it active, it'll add 2 additional hours to your Blessing of Commacilv. For reference here, I did an hour of grind this morning checking out the Gyphon updates, which we'll see in a little bit when we get further. And in that time, I had like 5 of these spawn. So picking up 10 hours of Blessing of Commacilv in a single hour is pretty good. Lastly, we have guild missions that are 2-step for you so that you can run those based on the missions you complete, and you can summon Mudster, Lava Chief, Putorum, or Khan to do with your guild members to do that. Class updates, there's a couple of tweaks, nothing super major aside from what we're going to see with Scholar. We do see that Mewa has a bit of an adjustment to their red divider, so that actually has a higher number of hits. And then, like I said, just tweaks on the others. For Scholar, we've got a note on it, and then it basically covers essentially what they've changed. Following our latest update, we received a wealth of feedback about Scholar. Most notably, many adventurers have voiced concerns about the attack area of certain skills. And in response, we've made some adjustments. The attack area of one of the main skills, the Golden Thunder, has been slightly increased, and Infinite Power and Hammerfall have been improved to apply a wider attack area forward. Furthermore, enhanced skills are scheduled to be on the Global Lab this Friday, January 5th. So be looking out for that. Core Fusion had its movement distance increased. A couple of tweaks with obviously critical hit rate not applying when the skills are on cooldown. The Black Spear Rage skill had increased activation speed. I haven't looked at how much quicker because that skill is kind of ridiculously long, so hopefully it's no longer the case, but I didn't check it out myself. And then, as noted, a little bit wider attack animations. Other content updates, they've increased the base energy amount from 30 to 50, so you may see that when you log in, you just flat out have more energy than you did before. The Ataraxian prequel quest is now optional, so that's not required in order to go ahead and get through the dungeon from there. The Akhman and Histria entrances have been now added. So that you can go into them. You can also see that they have specific portals as well. So you got like kind of this gold edge around Histria ones, and I guess no edge / it's more silvery on the Akhman ones, so you can actually tell the difference. Processing certificates were removed for getting those like beginner and whatnot setups on there. The Choose Your Tap Blackstar can now be swapped to Godr weapon, so if you want to go that route and upgrade it from there, which is probably a pretty good choice, you can now do that. Notably, they can't be sold the same as the free Tap Blackstars can't either, so just keep that in mind while you're doing it. Beginner Blackstones are now consolidated into individual items. Can't wait until just Blackstones get that treatment as well. There's a movement of outfits from regular inventory to Pearl inventory, so any of the equipable items that were there previously can now be moved over into your Pearl item. And then we get kind of the meat of the update, which is the update to some of the grind zones. So what we see here is that we have Crypt of Resting Thoughts, Olin's Valley, Ash Forest, and Gyphon Rasia Underground all had their AP caps increased to 830 AP. I know Gyphon was 800 AP, I think, and Crypt was as well. They may have all been exactly 800 and moved up to 830. Maybe it was a little bit lower than that and even up to 830, but only positive on a few of those. And then additionally, the expected revenue from other zones, the Dekia Olins, Dekia Ash Forest, Dekia Cyclops, and City of the Dead was increased as well, and that is because of the changes that were made to mostly the trash loot for it. So individually see Crypt of Resting Thoughts 830 AP now. To kind of counterbalance that, they did increase the HP of monsters there by about 27%. And then we have the drop loot amount changing off of just the normal mobs there from 3 to 4 is now 4 to 5. And then the Spear Maiden and Wolf Spear Maiden are going from 30 to 40 up to 30 to 100. And then the Dark Knight and Raznal are going from 50 to 100 to 100 to 200. Pretty wide range there. Do note that Agris is not going to work on all of the monsters. It no longer works on Bear or Wolf, Spear Maiden, Raznal, or Dark Knight, and it's been increased on the other monsters. The amount consumed is now 66, coming up from 55. The drop rate on Debo Belt was increased drastically across different mobs. 1.25 on the normal ones, 1.6 on the Spear Maidens, 5 times on Raznal, and increased 7.5 times on the Dark Knight. So that's pretty significant. Olin's Valley, same thing, 830 AP cap now. HP increased by 27%. Your basic mob drop's going to be going up from 3 trash loot to 3 to 4. The Golem left arm from 3 to 5 going 5 to 10, and the Golem itself from 4 to 5 going 10 to 20. We do see adjustments to the Agris Fever consume. Those were increased pretty drastically. The Dekia version also has increases going from 1 to 3 up trash loot from 5 to 15 per drop. You also get an increase on Debo drop rate. The Boulder, Rock, and Indomitable Golems drop rate increased by 1.13 times. The left arm increased by 1.57 times. And the Golem itself increased by 1.76 times, all extremely significant increase in drop rates. Ash Forest also an 830 cap now, HP increased by 27% as well. We see Volkers and Barnes going from 3 to 5 to 4 to 5 trash loot. Garrus from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3. Not a massive update considering the bounce on the other ones, but definitely something. What is massive is the Debo necklace drop rate, especially on Barnes, increased 2.5 times. Garrus 1.5 times, and Volkers 1.25 times. We've got increased number of junk loot item at Dekia. This one's a bit more significant than the prior one. Volkers going from 3 to 5 to 4 to 6. Barnes from 3 to 8 to 10 to 20. Garrus going from 2 to 3 to 2 to 4 there. So this Barnes is going to be dropping quite a bit. We also see increased Debo necklace 1.42, 1.66, and 1.92 to each of the mobs respectively. For Gyfin Underground, this one got probably the largest trash loot, and this place is probably going to be popping. Also note that it had its AP cap increased to 830, while the HP was only increased 6% on that. So your elites and the Despair Decimator that spawn are going from 2 to 5 trash loot to 10 to 15, and the Butcher is going from 20 to 30 up to 50 to 100. So pretty significant there. Do note that you can no longer use Agris on the Butcher itself. I mean, you can, it just doesn't do anything. You won't consume any or increase the loot. And then they did increase the Kerdala Origin Stone drop rate, which is kind of whatever. It's significantly increased off of the Butcher as well, but that wasn't necessarily an item that was super crazy. City of the Dead gets a little trash loot increase going from 1 to 3 to 2 to 3, just a tiny little boost there. And then the event spawn that night, instead of being 80 to 100, he's going to be 100 to 200. Darkseeker's Retreat did have a boost in the XP when defeating monsters, but no changes to trash loot or anything there. And Dekia Cyclops gets a little bit of trash loot increase from 1 to 3 going to 2 to 3. Little bonus there. And then Dawn Earrings are getting an increase off the Gargoyles by 1.45 times, and the Cyclops himself 1.5 times. So pretty significant increase in drop rate across the board there. Next up, we have improved guild boss loot. Guild boss subjugation, where adventurers accompany their guild members in defeating bosses, will undergo some changes. The subjugation was initially designed as a fun gathering place where adventurers from the same guild could meet once a week, enjoy together, and share stories. However, with the recent increase in PvE revenue, seems that motivation to participate in the subjugation is insufficient, so we've adjusted the loot of the bosses. Giant Mudster, Ferret, and Paturum have been modified to allow for more exciting combat experience. We've removed inconvenient mechanics, changed existing patterns, or added new ones to facilitate more refreshing combat experience. So essentially they made it a bit easier, or at least less annoying, and then have things like a guaranteed 100 mil gold bar no matter what, and better drop rate on the items that you're doing there to obviously try and make this more appealing for players to do. Other than that, just some issue fixes and tweaks, UI updates, that sort of thing. The last thing to note before we jump to the Pearl Shop, though, is Ulukita Silver buff. You can now get the what we call church buffs. That was moved from the Sezek mercenary camp into the Muzgar city. And the reason for that is because the Muzgar city, you will see, now has actual houses that you can get. So you can put your house buff furniture item in a house and Muzgar, and get your church buff all in one city finally, so that you're not going to Splashing Point or whatever, and then the camp to redo your buffs, every so often, which is super annoying. So that couldn't have come any sooner. All right, moving on to the Pearl Shop updates. We do have a couple new outfits that are in. We've got several pictures to go along with them, thankfully. Sometimes they throw these new ones and don't give us a ton of pictures with it, and sometimes they do. The Festive Fashion. This is the new Grandpa Kron's assistant outfits. So you got 2 versions there to pick from, whatever you want to go with. They've got a bundle option for them, but if you want to get them individually, they're 2,200 pearls. For that, the bundle one is 3960 pearls to get that. We then have the Year of the Dragon RNG pouches. Not a fan of them, but they're around 900 pearls for them individually. Then, of course, there's a 5+1 bundle for 4,500 pearls if you want that. We've got the 2024 Good Fortune Pack, 2990 pearls. This gives you, this one's kind of interesting, 4 Mystical Cronstone bundles, 2 Rare Cronstone bundles, and then 2 Wishful Pouch of Fortune, which are also some RNG items that are typically going to yield some Cronstones or maybe Artisans, potentially a costume if you're super lucky. We've got the Great Fortune Pack at 3910 pearls. Has a 15-day box, 2 made for hires, 2 +4 inventory expansions, and 2 Black Tiger RNG boxes. We've got the Marvelous Fortune Pack at 5510 pearls. It's got a Choose Your Premium Outfit box, 30 Artisans, 500 Crons, 2 Rabbit Fortune RNGs, and 2 Dragon Pouch RNG boxes. They're really pushing the RNG boxes once again. There must be a surplus of pearls in circulation at the moment. That's usually when we see these bounce around. New Year with Maids, 3360 pearls is going to get you 4 maids, which isn't too terrible, although sometimes we do get these 50% off, so not quite as great as you usually see. We've got New Year Nostalgia Pack, 2205 pearls, get you 120 Artisans with 50 memory fragments. If you want to go a little bigger with that one, there's 4165 pearls, that'll get you 240 Artisans and 120 memory fragments. We have New Year Fantastic Dragon coming back around. He's 1540 pearls, and then as usual with him, you can choose between Enhancing, Crystal, or Dream Horse rarities boxes to go with him. Winter Snowball Pet is back around 1760 pearls to get the Rose Finch, and then you choose either the Reindeer, Snow Kid, or Snowlight Lynx. Of course, there's some feed to go with it. And then we also have, what's the difference between these two? Snowball Rosefinch and Snowflake Rosefinch. Okay, I was going to say, did I just read the same thing? 2 different types of finch, I suppose. We have horse gear on sale at 20% off on that, and then the weekly outfit sale this week is the Hash Domter Premium set. So there you have it for this week's patch notes and Pearl Shop. Let me know what you guys think about what's going on in the comments down below. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like it. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you get notifications when new videos go live. And if you'd like to catch me playing live, there's a link to my Twitch page in the description down below. Jump on over there, drop a follow so you get notifications for that as well. With that said, that's going to be it for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.